We are in Mark chapter 1 and look in verse 40. It says, "Now a leper came to him, imploring him, kneeling down to him, saying to him, 'If you are willing, you can make me clean.' And then Jesus, moved with compassion, stretched out his hand and touched him, and said to him, 'I am willing, be cleansed.' And as soon as he had spoken, immediately the leprosy left him, and he was cleansed. And he strictly warned him and sent him away at once, and said to him, 'See that you say nothing to anyone, but go your way, show yourself to the priest, and offer for your cleansing those things which Moses commanded as a testimony to them.' However, he went out and he began to proclaim it freely, to spread the matter, so that Jesus could no longer openly enter the city, but was outside in the deserted places, and they came to him from every direction." This leper comes up to Jesus, he's kneeling, and he's begging, and he says, "If you're willing, cleanse me." This leper wasn't bringing into question Jesus' ability. This man believed in his ability. The thing he wasn't sure about was whether Jesus was willing or not. It would have been devastating if Jesus was willing, but he wasn't able. Or if he was able, but he wasn't willing. But Jesus was both. Thankfully, we have a Savior who's both willing and able to help us out of our sin and to help us in temptation. And Jesus demonstrated that as he reached out and he touched the leper and said, "I am willing, be cleansed." And as soon as he did, the leprosy left him. Jesus gives him two instructions. Go and follow the law of Moses, make your offering, show yourself to the priest, as Leviticus 14 instructs, and say nothing to anybody. Now, I want you to participate for a moment. Put yourself in this man's shoes. Imagine what the sores and the drooping skin and the oozing must have been like, the pain and the suffering that must have come along with it. And imagine what it must have been like to be isolated from everybody that you've ever known. The people that you love the most, you can no longer hug. You can no longer be around them. But in a moment, in an instant, when Jesus heals you, you get your life back. What would you have wanted to do? If it was me, I would have wanted to go on top of a mountain and just scream and tell everybody so that everybody knew. And that's basically what this man did. But there were consequences when he disobeyed Jesus. Jesus, because of what this man did, could no longer enter into this city, and the city suffered. It could no longer hear his teaching. He could no longer heal anybody else there. He could no longer seek and to save the lost in the city anymore. You see, whether we understand and whether we can sympathize where this man's coming from, and whether we can understand why Jesus tells us certain things, we need to learn to trust that Jesus knows what's best. And when Jesus tells us something, we need to obey him.